Good morning. I apologize for my sound. It is ran by the Logi, Logi, whatever. It's one of those video cams that I bought years ago in Texas, and I purchased it a couple of times. Each time that I had to replace it, it was always because the audio starts to make that little sound, whatever you hear it. So basically, today I need to look into getting another one because I did leave my microphone that DJ lent to me or gave to me for a little bit of time back in Texas. He started using it again, is why. And this video today is brought to you by tea. This is the tea I'm drinking today. Stash, peach, and what? Oh, it's just peach in a different language. Peach tea in my Austin, Texas cup, which you guys know I absolutely freaking love. And of course, it has creamer in it. And I didn't have those behind my ears, as you could probably tell. I was going to take them off anyway. So anyway, this is what I'm drinking. It was not brought to you by anything. I was just sharing, because you know good and well. Nobody's paying me to do nothing. Hi, Tasha. Sharing. Anyway, I showed you the Austin cup, so let's look at the new cup I have for the nude state I'm in. My granddaughter, Deja. She bought me a whole gift basket of goodies. Body washes and soaps and coloring book, Oregon everything. And this is freaking love it. Because look at that. Look at the snow-capped mountain that I've been seeing and following me everywhere I go here in Oregon. I absolutely adore this cup. It's got umbrellas, hearts, clouds, trees, waterfall, crabs, dolphins, sun, the mountains, all these little cute things on it. It's adorable. I love this cup. And she mentioned that she hadn't seen me drink out of this cup. She said, "You've just been drinking out of your Texas cup. You haven't drinking out of your Oregon cup." I'm like, "Yes, I have, sweetie." But somebody else drank it. I had it in the kitchen, and someone washed it, my grandson, and it was put up in the cabinet. And guess what? Somebody drank out of my cup. So I've been keeping it in my room because I'm stingy like that. My granddaughter bought that for me, and that's how we're going to do that. So anyway, we're going to talk about some books that I got checked out from the library after paying for all these books to come here. How much did I pay? $65 one time for 3 boxes, 40 something dollars for 3 boxes because they were lighter, and then another 20 something for just a test, and then some that I bought along with my car. So I've got that stacked, that shelf, which, let's see here, goes down one more. There's books on the bottom. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves of books. And I had to buy a new shelf. Obviously, I didn't bring my shelves with me. And then, so I've got basically a quarter of the books that I had back in Texas with me. So, and then that's from the floor on down. And then there's a small table over there with less than 20 books on it. Oh, and then those books behind me by the bed right there. So cool. Anyway, so paying for books to come here, paying for them while I'm in the store, and then what do I do as usual? Go to the library and check out books and ignore the books I've been paying on for and mailed. When I say paying on, they ain't on layaway. It's just I don't spend a lot of money on. I did read my let's see here, my own copy of, let's see here, when I first got here. Yes, grandson, bring me the phone. Come on in. I'm just talking. Say hi.
Hello, guys.
Isn't he just gorgeous? Okay, is she still on the phone?
No, she's
not. Okay, no, it's hung up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye. You're silly. So anyway, grandkids, I love them. Anyway, what was I talking about? My library checkouts. So basically, I got 12 library books here. I think I got 13 because I was miscounting all over the place. I was also just telling you about how the book that I did read that I own was a Coetzee book. So Elizabeth Costello is the first book that I own and brought with me from Texas, and then also from Florida. At Kansas City. Lord Jesus, some books I have paid for those books 4 or 5 times sometimes. Anyway, I did finish my Elizabeth Costello here in the state of Oregon, and I started it here and finished it here. Right before I left Texas, I read J.M. Coetzee's Slow Man, which had the character Elizabeth Costello in it. So, yeah, I went straight to Elizabeth Costello, which I bought with me, and I really enjoyed a lot of it. And then sometimes I was like, I need her son. There was some parts in there. I'll maybe talk about that later because it's sitting over there. It's done. I meant to only talk about the library books, but there were certain parts of Slow Man. The Elizabeth Costello character is viewed for me for the first time in this fun, crazy way. She's like intruding on this man and wanting to get his story. It's like she just came out of nowhere. This writer trying to write another book, and she's just completely moved in to this man's life and his family life, his friends or lack of things that are going on in his life. And I'm sitting here still talking about it, but she was just this crazy character that he didn't know. And she's asking him all kind of questions, like she's interviewing him. She shows up at his doorstep. She's kind of bossy, but in a like, where is this lady coming from? Why is she like this? And she was so interesting in that book that I went to the Elizabeth Costello book. And she's good in that. And, you know, she's a writer and she's given all these talks at different places, and they were so interesting. And it's so good. But then it's like her son was taking her to these talks and stuff, and it gives you a little bit of him as a side character, you know. But I wanted to know more, and it kind of ends, and it's a very deep book. It's very dense sometimes in the talks that she's giving, and you could read one of those talks and then go off on the deep end and start researching stuff and just her mind. And it was like, I'm just doing it. It was good. But there were some parts where I thought at the end, I just wanted more. That's all. I wanted more, and I wanted it to satisfy my mental the way the rest of the books did. And I just kind of wanted to go back a little bit. It's a lot. It's a lot. If you've read Slow Man first, which is by J.M. Coetzee, and was first introduced to the character Elizabeth Costello, didn't you see her more colorful or more just like mysterious and like, where is this lady who is this lady barging into this man's life, trying to write his story? And you just wanted to know more about her. Then you read the book that's titled after her, and she's not as colorful. She's very astute. She's amazing at just pushing people's buttons in these talks. So she's a little bit more stern. She's not as colorful and loud as she was in the Slow Man book. She's more navy jacket, gray sweat, gray slacks, you know, black pumps type of collegiate, you know, button down person that likes to, you know, get on some folks' nerves by looking up or talking about other writers' literature and whether it was really necessary or good or anything. She was completely different than the other book. If you've read those two books, let me know what your thoughts were. Elizabeth Costello by J.M. Coetzee and Slow Man. Now that I'm not holding up those books, which I'm just too lazy to get up and get, and I'm sorry I'm pushing around my little table, but we're going to talk about the library books now. And I gave myself about 10 to 12 days to read these books. And I thought it was 10 books, maybe in 10 days, or 10 books in 12 days. But it was like more. And I think it's now 13. I was not counting right because one of the books was not sitting on the shelf like it should have been. But anyway, so I read Patsy, which is a library checkout, and I checked it out before this batch that I'm going to show you after. So I checked this out when I checked out the Baldwin book. I took back the Baldwin book because I want to actually purchase that after I read a couple of Baldwin books that I haven't read out of my Baldwin collection. Okay, because I kind of want to own that book, and it's in soft cover now, and I want to be able to highlight some passages, and it was very familiar to me after reading a lot of Baldwin books. Then reading somebody writing about Baldwin, I was like, yeah, nah. That's why I wanted to check it out the library, and I checked it out in Fort Worth, and I also checked it out here. And then when I read it a little bit here, I was like, yeah, it's kind of the same, but it's so good. But I think I want to own it. Enough about that. So this is Patsy, which was checked out along again with Baldwin. Kept this one obviously because it took me forever to read this, and it's not because it's not good. It's because I just moved, and relocating and being excited about Portland, Oregon, and seeing all the fascinating stuff like trees and mountains and flowers and roses on the darn highway and all the bridges. You know, I love bridges, the trains, just everything is right here, surrounded by nature, which is the most heavenly experience in the world. So I'm in love. May not move anywhere else ever. I don't think I will. I think this is it. I'll just travel other places maybe. Definitely up and down this Pacific Northwest coast. So anyway, Patsy, I gave this a 4-star, and at first I thought this is just 3-star. I didn't like it as much as Here Comes the Sun. I really thoroughly enjoyed that one. This one, there were some things, like sometimes in the writing, I'm thinking, is she just writing to be writing? Or, you know, when you read a literary read and it's kind of just a little atmospheric, or, you know, just telling every little thing that, you know, that the character did. You got a biscuit and you spread some jelly on it, and then she walked over 2 inches to the coffee machine and poured the coffee, and the steam of the coffee hit her nose, and then she did like that to wipe the steam up. I mean, stuff like that. That is in a lot of literary books, that you get a taste of it, but you don't need to keep getting little those effects throughout the story. And sometimes it felt like stretching the book. Also, because the character is so unlikable, like, you don't like Patsy. If you like Patsy, that's on you. I don't. No, but I did care for her, and I understood her, and I like the way that the writer handled the fact that she's not a likable person. She does leave her child behind in Jamaica and comes to America. And the whole reason why she comes to America was like, that's just not, like, is it ever any good enough reason to leave your child in another country while you go there for whatever reasons that you're going? And we know what reasons she went. However, there's a point in the book where you feel for Patsy. You want her to be able to have some sort of peace and independence, without judging her, because we've all done so many bad things in our lives that we wish that we wouldn't have done, and we don't want to put it on display and let everybody judge us for it. We'd all hate each other very much. And then you put that hate on yourselves for the things that you've done, or you feel bad about them. So you do have to reconcile some of your guilt, some of your blame, and understand that her guilt is from an honest place. She's being 100% honest. It may seem cowardly and wrong and terrible, but this is her human experience, and you kind of have to get over the fact that she did a bad thing, you know, and for not great reason, or not great reason to us. So then she gets some life into her, but in the same time that you're trying to appreciate that Patsy needs something good to happen, and shed all those feelings of not wanting to be a mother and feeling guilty about it and leaving her daughter, and the things that's happening to her in America that she thought she was, this is the, this relationship is going to work, or the reason I'm here is going to work. You're also, you're trying to feel for her a little bit, but then you also notice the other side of it. True, her daughter is back in Jamaica dealing with a whole set of siblings and stepmom and a father that she didn't know as well. Now she's living with him, and then you're mad at Patsy again. But I will say, what really snagged me and got me about this book was Roy, which is True's father. I won't tell you all, but there was a point where Roy broke down, and I broke down. And I hugged the book to me when he said what he said. I had to read it over and over, and I untugged the book from my chest and read that part. And then I'd hug him and I was literally in this bedroom crying, trying not to let anybody hear me, crying, okay? And that's when I was like, this is a 4-star book. Y'all know me if you've watched this channel in the past. I used to do this all the time. I'm like, I don't like this book at all. It's a 5-star book. It's like I have to. It's moments like this that happen in this book with Roy when he contacted Patsy. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you read it. That particular part in the book. I always have that moment where it's like, this is why I read. This is why I've been reading and have a library card since I was 5 years old. This is why I still go to the library. This is why these library books are so important to me. I love a good story, and this was a good story. And I was looking for and waiting on it, but that moment where I'm just going to fall in love with the book, which makes me fall in love with more reading. And I hope Nicole Dennis-Benn continues to write. I know she's got a new book coming out via, I was going to say Frenchie Dee from Brown Girl Dreaming Reading. Because Dee Dee is on my head, so I'm trying to just... Is it Brown Girl Reading? Because what was Brown Girl Dreaming was the book. Jacqueline Woodson. That's what I always want to say, and I have to catch myself. So when Dee Dee made a comment about Nicole Dennis-Benn having a new book, I think it's Black Gold or Gold or something. Anyway, I'm definitely going to get it. And the bad thing is, I haven't bought near one of these Nicole Dennis-Benn books. So I'm going to fix that. The reason being is because the first one, Here Comes the Sun, was given to me by Sam Says So, who has a channel, who's not making videos anymore. And once in a while says something in the comments on my post. So thank you for introducing me to her. That book was big, and it was going around BookTube and everywhere else. You go to the library, it was sitting right in the front as soon as you go in. So Here Comes the Sun was a very huge book, and she gave me that book. I own it. It's back in Texas because I didn't want to keep carrying all the same things that I've read. I was trying to get the books that I haven't read, although there since Toni Morrison, I've read all of them except for maybe 2 or 3. And so anyway, with all that said, I didn't buy this one, obviously. I checked out the library. Didn't buy the first one because it was a gift. The third one, I think I'm going to buy. But knowing me, I'll probably go ahead and buy this one so I can have the full Nicole Dennis-Benn. And then maybe when I'm reread Here Comes the Sun, then I can read again Patsy, and then I can read again the third, or read the third one. So I do things like that. It may seem like a waste of time to somebody, and maybe I won't tell you about my rereads. Like I've read Beloved 4 times, and I'll probably read it again. But I will say this: I want to buy all the books that she writes, and I hope that this third one that she has coming out will be as good as Here Comes the Sun, or get me to a point where Patsy got me finally. Because it took you a long way, sis. I was like, okay, let's wrap this up. But then again, I thought maybe it was because of the move and the discovering Portland, Oregon. And I was reading that book, and I kept going places, and I'd read maybe 5, 10 pages, put it down, and look at the trees. It may have something to do with it, okay? So, either way, I just said I'm going to buy all 3 of them. Well, 2 of them because I own 1. Then I read Merriment. Let's move on. Graphic novel section, and I got some graphic novels here, but this one was depressing. It was hilarious. Okay, first of all, when I was reading, I didn't read the blurb on the back or the synopsis at all. I was like, this is cute, and I looked inside, and I love the art, and their faces are just ugly on purpose, you know. Look at that. They look mad, crazy. They just look foolish, and I just thought it was 2 boys or 2 men at first, and then I noticed the boobs. But their names are Mac and Denise. So this is Mac, the central character that the story is about, and then this is Denise, her best friend. So Mac and Denise have these conversations, and Mac is going through it. She literally thinks she killed somebody, but she don't remember if she did it or if it's real. She don't know if it just gets worse and worse. As far as when the book is going along, she's telling Denise, I don't think this is real. I think people are following me. I think they're, this missing lady that's on the news, and we've seen flyers about town. As you'll see the flyers on post around town about a missing person. Then she talks about it being on the news. And earlier in the beginning of the book, she talked about she thinks she killed somebody. I'm thinking it was a man she thinks she killed, but she thinks she killed this lady. And so you kind of wonder, she's kind of snatching that out of thin air, that she really didn't kill anybody. And then as you go on, she's paranoid, she's just a mess. And then in the middle of this somewhere, I turned it around and I read what I'm going to read to you. But the thing was, she's hilarious, and I'm just laughing the whole time. I'm like, this woman she's a whole hot mess. She's whatever. I'm thinking it's pure comedy. And I read the back and I'm thinking, oh, I can see. Sorry. I can see why, but I didn't see it because I was laughing too hard. So it says, as many of us do, Mac is having a hard time coping with life in New Jersey, watching her friends figure their lives out while she is stuck living at home. Mac is looking for any kind of lifeline out of her mom's house and into the city, where she is convinced she will then be happy. Yeah, because she wants to live in New York so bad. Then again, it's hard for anyone to be happy these days. In fact, her mother will not let her forget. And what's worse, she thinks she might have committed a murder, and that maybe, just maybe, the FBI is spying on her. Merriment follows Mac on her quest for happiness and or sanity through the horrors of life as she navigates existential dread, real life dread, and all the dread in between. And then I'm reading I'm like, is this supposed to be that? Are they taking this serious? Like, real life dread, existential dread? I mean, their faces are dreadful. And yes, I was getting the dread, but it's funny. And I was laughing hard. Merriment does a great job depicting the way we communicate our most fundamental thoughts, the things that make us speak and act the way we do, our petty grievances, relationships with friends and family, cultural annoyances, ultimately the way we resolve the unrelenting tension that threads through every day. New Jersey and mental illness go hand in hand, says Chris Gethard. I'm sorry, but that's funny to me. That's fun. That's why I was laughing. So he said, the first one was by Steve Albini that I read to you. This one, New Jersey and mental illness go hand in hand, and this beautifully rendered art masterfully explores the relationships between the two, says Chris Gethard. And then there's 2 more. But I'm going to read this one. Check this out. Merriment is a excruciatingly restrained opera about mental illness, And as I'm telling you, I'm thinking, oh my God, I've been cracking up. And then sometimes, comedians make fun of things that are very serious, death even. So I'm not going to feel guilty for laughing. But I'm telling y'all, I had to stop and think, yeah, she is going through this. Okay. Merriment is an excruciatingly restrained opera about mental illness, bridge and tunnel, and hoping to glitch oneself out of oneself, which of course not possible. A beautiful comics novel, powerfully evocative of a very specific experience of quarter life depression. Baby. Oh my God, quarter life. So I'm in the last quarter. So yeah, I'm gonna read the other one. Okay, might as well, right? That one was by Sarah Lautman, Lautman. So of course, this book was so good, and I did look up. It says by Joel Steinhardt and Marissa Paternoster, and so read because the author, one of them is in a band, the lady, and it's really good to know your authors that are new to you, and these are new to me authors, a new to me book. So Ben Snake Pit, that's his name. Merriment is a tale of friendship, paranoia, and the meaningless of life through the lens of a group of cynical 30-somethings. Now, I'm sorry, I didn't know they was 30-somethings when I was reading this book because they look a hot mess. The artwork is phenomenal, okay, in making this whole depression and mental illness work in this book. It really does. And it's at this one point where it's like, Pinocchio when he lies and his nose gets bigger? There's pictures in here, the artwork, where she's showing their side faces and their nose. Not only is it long, because I got a big nose, but then it just like, just keeps going. And it's not that she's lying, it's just ugly for ugly's sake to I guess mirror the ugliness of life. It's just ugly. It's hilarious though. Merriment is the tale of friendship, paranoia, and the meaningless of life through the lens of a group of cynical 30-somethings. The dialogue is very real, hilarious. He gets it. Hilarious at times. Okay, I thought all times, but anyway, hilarious at times. The artwork is both unsettling and beautiful. Like a ghost story with any ghost, Joe and Marissa have created a book that sticks with you for a long time after reading it. It will. It really will. Because I don't want to buy graphic novels. That's why I'm checking them out at the library. Because this one's $24.95. It's hardcover. And, yeah, I don't want to spend $24 on it. However, I think it might be worth it. I'm not going to lie. And especially because it's art and literature. Can't go wrong. That might be my next obsession. It's still going to be books. How can I help you?
Sorry to interrupt.
You go ahead. You just come on back in here with your cute self. How can I help?
We're about to go to the park.
Who said?
Dad.
Dad? Where's he at?
He's there.
He's there at the park?
Yeah, and he said meet him there with the
with the glove and the basketball
yeah.
and the other gloves. Oh, y'all got 3 gloves?
Yeah, because it's...
Is your mom down there too?
Nah, she's still at work.
She's at work?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just told us to bring...
Hi, Justice. You want to say hi?
This guy.
He ain't got no teeth, but he can say hi. No, I'm just joking. Say hi.
I love my camera too.
You love your camera too? What are you getting ready to do? Oh, y'all smell good.
Thank you.
What are you getting ready to do?
Go to the park.
Well, I wanted to hear it from you.
Oh, I thought you wanted to hear from Daddy about that.
So you already heard it from me, bruh.
I love you.
I love you too.
You gonna have fun? You got a baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, you got one.
We got a hardball and a softball.
You
So
taking both of them?
Because I don't know which one.
Let me see. Let me see this. Does it fit my hand? Oh, this is a
That's
little
small.
That's a small one. This your dad's?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I like black. My favorite color. That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
my favorite color.
Well,
And Dad's favorite color.
yours
No, that's
is
how it
that.
is.
Yeah. No, but I have a glove and it does cover it right here.
Really? Look.
Yeah, depends.
Mine
Yeah.
don't.
Because I would be smashing it, so I would be getting, or you can possibly loosen it up. He got it pretty tightly wound.
Yeah.
This is brand new. Y'all ain't been playing no catch with this.
No, it's brand new.
Brand new frontin'. No, this is really nice.
You can loosen it though with these
Yeah.
little straps.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Mine can't be loosened.
You sure? All those ties on there tell me that it can. Yep. It sure can.
Oh, so you
It
can.
matches your shirt too. Don't undo it. Don't do that now.
Yeah.
Wait till you get down there, and if it doesn't
Just let
work
Dad,
for you,
let
yeah,
Dad do it.
let Dad do it. Let my baby do it. All right. So, okay.
You got
Well-
hardball and softball.
Okay, and I don't want to hear it on the floor in here. Let Darian put them in her pocket. You gonna put one in your pocket too? Okay.
Alright, you ready?
All right.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, I was hoping that.
Alright, grandmother.
All right. I love you.
I love,
Love
you
you,
too.
grandmother.
I love you, baby.
See you later.
Bye, babies.
Bye, the camera.
Have fun,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
will.
and don't slam that door.
I will not.
Thank you. No, I heard you, Justice. He said, slam it. Little critter. It's the little ones that's always the bad. Or not bad, but obnoxious. Oh, God, is he. So they didn't slam it. But sometimes, kids be playing tricks. So if you hear a door slam in the middle of this conversation that we're having, do forgive, and no, I do not edit. So that's just going to be a part of the video. And we were talking about Merriment, and I set it down, $24.95. I was saying that I may have a new obsession because I really am getting into the graphic novels still. And my graphic novel that you beautiful soul purchased for me, called Jerusalem, is a heavy. And I had it in a box and had to take it out of a box because it added almost $10 to the box that I had. I was like, oh Lord, about $8 and something. It's about $9 more. And I was taking books out and then, taping them up. I was like, yeah, I have to make sure that they don't go over like 20 something because I'll send like 2 or 3 boxes at a time. Mostly I sent 3 boxes at a time. And they would be like $65. So $246 and then some change, right? So I was weighing them at home. I hold them, and one of them was like completely heavy. So, DJ's gonna be coming to visit me, so he's gonna bring me some of my books, and also I have them boxed up already. Excuse me, with the address on them, so I'll just float him some money and he can send me my books, okay? Because I'm not going to be able to survive with just one bookcase. I'm not going to be able to do it. There's a whole wall over here. And my son wants me to go ahead and paint a mural on my bedroom wall. So I'm going to do it. My son and daughter-in-law said that I could. I'm not over here acting like a bad kid. I got a whole wall over here to paint. And I'll maybe turn the camera around if you would like to see the process of me painting a mural on my bedroom wall. Let me know in the comment section. Say yes, paint that, okay? And I'll paint that, and I'll show you guys the process. I'll have to move the big old king size bed that they done got from. I told them, I said all I need is a full size bed. I come here and there's a big old king size bed with a headboard that matches my painting. Come on. I'm glad I brought those 2 paintings. So anyway, we're talking about books, the library books. So I gave myself until next Wednesday. Today is Thursday now. Yep, Thursday. So I've only finished those 2 books. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I have 10 books to read before next Wednesday. Why before next Wednesday? Do you think I can make it? It's Wednesday. It's Thursday, and did not finish a book last night. I started a book last night, but I didn't finish it. And I'm going to show you that book. But if you think I can do it, then I think I can. I think I can. Because there's lots of wonderful parks to go to. Like I was going to go to where the boys are going. They're walking down the street to the park. And we walked there. I've driven over there. I've sat on my blanket. And I got my book in hand, and I might read 2 pages, but I'm really watching, the kids. So since my son is down there already, so I don't have to worry about that. So today I will find a park to go to read my book, or coffee shop. I really want to be outside again. This is like day 3, 4 in a row that I've just been finding a different park to go to, or at least the same park sometimes. So it's just been outside for me, and that's one of the things that made me want to move here too, because I'm introverted, and it was getting on my own nerves. Like I would go to work and come home, and I wouldn't go outside even on my days off. Like literally my car would just sit there unless I was going to work. I don't want that anymore. And now I live in a neighborhood where I can walk down the street. There's 2 blocks to one of the best coffee shops that I've ever been to, and then there's it's a 3-minute walk to a restaurant where I go over there and I get my waffles with Nutella and nuts or something, banana bread, whatever. They're really good. And I just tell them that light drizzle the Nutella, because that stuff is way too sweet. But it's so good, and I sit in the window and I just watch things and people, and I read my book over there. I can read over there. I can read at the other coffee shop. Then there's another coffee shop I went to when I first moved here. That's so good too. And I read Coetzee in that one. And that's when I was reading Elizabeth Costello. Okay, I'm not gonna keep talking about that one. So there's just a lot. I haven't been to any of the. Oh, I have been to a coffee shop downtown. It was a speakeasy that my daughter-in-law took me to. You have to have a code and everything, so it was really cool. You know how speakeasies work. If you don't, you need a code usually to get into like the back room or basement or some secret place other than the front part of the coffee shop, right? Or bar or what have you. So it was really good. However, it was a speakeasy, like with all kind of witches and brooms and scary stuff. I'm not going back there. I'm just saying it's just not my vibe. It's my daughter's vibe. Hi Tasha, I told her about it, sent her pictures, and I did post some of those pictures, I think here or on Instagram. It was a little too spooky, and I ain't got time for that. So this is not my type. I did like the speakeasy part when we went behind the shop, and it was less spooky. It was dark, too dark to read. But I had coffee and conversation with my daughter. So that was really nice. That was downtown Portland. But I just don't want to go back there. And then let me see, what else? Basically, I've been reading in parks like I did when I was in Texas, but these parks have a different view. Obviously, the trees are humongous. There's water everywhere, and it's just not the park that we go to that's down the street a few blocks, but on the way, it's just gorgeous. All the flowers in everyone's yard. There's a little library that I actually got a poetry book from, and a kid's book for Justice that you just met with the 2 teeth missing. And oh my goodness, I'm watching this girl's channel. I'm sorry, y'all. The TV is right there. My son put this big old widescreen TV up on so that I can watch it in the bed. Yeah, and I've been watching movies and stuff. It's fun, and I watch a lot of YouTube still. She's talking about books, and so it's on. And I watch a lot of hiking and marathoners and all that stuff like I normally do. And that's just what I watch when I read. Not that you wanted to know all of that. You still want me to show you the books that I'm challenging myself to read before Wednesday. And what was Wednesday? Now I'm caught up. Now you caught up, girl. I hope the camera is not doing that whole audio terrible part. But what I will say is, I don't know if I'm going to make it. So I'm going to show you the books. But the whole Wednesday thing before next Wednesday, these books must be done, and I'll take them back to the library, or at least the ones that I finished, I'll take those back. But I really want to get through this because I've been spending way too much time on my phone. So I'm trying to take away some of that phone time Like last night, I was getting real sleepy after reading the book. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to call it a night. I'm not going to be able to read 30, 40, 50 pages tonight. I'm not going to be able to do it. I was getting real sleepy reading, right? As we were out most of the day, me and my two grandsons, I had to take a drug test for my job. That's the whole point of next Wednesday. I start work next Wednesday. Okay, got a new job and I can't wait. It's so exciting because the people are very friendly and it doesn't seem like it's going to be one of those jobs that used to stress me out. So I'm very excited about that because the last job I had, I wish I could have picked them up and moved here to Oregon with me because I would have never quit that job. I would have possibly at some point, because the driving over an hour, I wasn't going to do that anymore. Getting older and losing my eyesight, not trying to drive an hour and 10 minutes there and then an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours home because of traffic in Texas. That was not going to float. But I did not want to move to that little town. Did not want to move to the little town because there were some little towns around there in Oklahoma that were sundown towns. And yes, that played a big part of it. No, I did not want to do that. And what was the point? What was the point? Because then I was still going to be an hour and 45 minutes away from Tasha and then an hour and 30 minutes away from DJ. So, and it would just been me. No. No. So, and then there was other reasons why I moved that y'all don't need to know. I'll just say family reasons. So, with all that said, I start work next Wednesday and I want these stack of books from the library to be completely read. So these are the 10. And this is what I started and was reading last night. I'm only on page 22. I wanted to read 50 pages of it last night, but then what happened was I got up and I got some more ice and some more tea and I put it in my little cup and came back in here trying to energize myself to read another 20 something pages, you know, at least to get to 50. And what did I do? I energized myself with the getting up and getting the tea and sat here and got on my phone and was on Instagram. And my phone pops up the little message that tells me how long I've been on that particular site. And it says used. And then it tells you how many minutes or how many hours you've used it for. So I got to page 22. But when I revitalized myself, getting the tea, sat down, opened up my phone, got on Instagram, used 55 minutes. That could have been the time that I was supposed to be reading this book. And I probably would have gotten past 50 pages. But no. All y'all's pictures of books. Why am I looking at pictures of books and I got a book in my hand? We all do it. Don't act like I'm the only one. So we're all guilty. And if you're not guilty, you're just a better reader than most. But, or more focused on your book than most. So the places that I'm more focused and reading are coffee shops and parks when my grandkids are not there with me, because then I'm paying attention to them or talking to them or don't do that, get that out of your mouth, you know, that kind of a thing. Don't hit that child, don't let that child hit you. We just had a conversation about that. We just had a deep conversation about that, me and my two grandsons, because I don't know if I want to open up those cans of worms on y'all, but let me just put this out there and you can figure it out. So my grandson, the smaller one, Justice, and I love screaming out his name. No, Justice. So use that and figure out, make up your own little stories in your head, but you know they ain't made up, my people. You know they ain't made up. So several times I had to say that just for the pure sentiment of it and getting folks straight. So anyway, The Trouble with Love, Faith and Fortune. This is the first book of a series. I've read it. I don't think I've ever read Toni Shiloh. I was thinking, well, I said I don't think. No, I have not read her, as I was thinking of another romance book that I had read years ago, and I freaking loved it, right? And I had never read that lady's book. And I read it here on BookTube years ago, and I checked out some other of her books from the library. I think her last name was Little, so I know it's not this. So anyway, this will be my first Toni Shiloh, The Trouble with Love. So I went to her website and I didn't find these book covers. So I did find the title. I'm like, where are these books, right? Beautiful. Look at that. Especially this middle one with that bob, with that pixie bob. I love that pixie. That is so fire. And they're all cartoonish, but they're so cute. I love it. So anyway, that's the series that I'm reading. The Trouble with Love, Faith and Fortune 1. So far, I'm really liking it. The main character is a singer, right? And she's just come off a tour. And she's young. And she's got 2 roommates. And they live in New York. And so she's just come off a tour. And she's a songwriter, singer. Her father is a famous singer. Last name is Brown. So, Bobby Brown, Chris Brown, those are the things that I was thinking about. But anyway, she's got this famous father, and she didn't want to get into the music business by her dad's name and fame alone, which she, I think, tried not to, but you can't escape it all the time. So she was dealing with that. And now that she's off the tour, she went to her, room trying to write some music, and she can't think of any lyrics or anything. She's kind of like in a dead zone, kind of just not inspired, right? But this is obviously what she usually does, and so it's kind of getting to her, like, why can't she do it? Is she, is it over? Like, is she going to have to start going back to all her music that she has already made that's popular, and just like doing a greatest hits kind of thing like a lot of people do? So she's kind of going through that now. She's got 2 roommates, and they're all got their own fame. One's a ballerina, principal dancer, so she's got some fame, and she's always, taking classes when the season is out, when she's actually not on stage. Doing performances, so she's always involved in keeping her body up for ballet. And of course, she's gorgeous. They're all gorgeous. Everybody in these books be gorgeous. It's ridiculous. Like, can't we get some like regular people? But anyway, all these freaking pretty people. But then her other friend is it Tori? Tori's the one that is a model, and her brother is coming to visit. And she knows her brother. The main character knows the brother. She calls him Wally, and he calls her all these seasonal names like Valentine, Independence, or whatever. Anything that's a holiday, he nicknames her. They don't like each other, obviously, from the past. Boy, girl, not liking. So immediately that's the trope. So her roommate, who's the model and beautiful, has a stalker. This is all happening in 22 pages. She has a stalker, and they go to the New York Knicks, New York Giants. They're baseball fans. So they're at a game or whatever, and her brother, Tori's brother, comes to visit, and he's going to stay at a part of the house. Not like right, but he's staying there. And the main character, the singer, is like perturbed, annoyed. Why has he got to stay here? And finds out that Wally, the brother, the one that she doesn't like, and he don't like her, he's being real sweet to her. Nice. Because to me, I'm thinking, because he's grown up, and she seems a little juvenile. Yes, it's a little young story. So he tells her on the sly, in the house, that his sister, Tori, the model, has a stalker, and some things are being sent to her, some things are being said to her that are not so nice and kind. So they've got some security. And Tori didn't tell the singer, and I'm saying the singer, they call her Hall. What is her first name? Because they've just been calling her all kind of stuff. It's Hall. What's the first name? Girl, I don't know. Anyway, they spell it H-O-L, Hall. So Hall, the singer, Wally tells her, about the sister having a stalker, and they got some security. So usually they just go, they put on their little disguises, a hat and baggy jeans or whatever, and they all 3 go out in incognito, so nobody will know who they are. And they get around fine in New York City because so many people. And so that hasn't been a problem for them to catch the train or the bus or whatever, public transportation. But now they're taking a car, and she's like, what's going on? So he tells her there's a stalker involved and that maybe the girls might want to get some security. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. But there's this back and forth where she's like while he's handsome, oh, he's handsome, why would she think that? She's like talking to you, the reader. And of course, so that's the kind of trope. Not really enemies to lovers, but they haven't done anything at all in 22 pages to make you think that they're going to be lovers, but it's obvious. So that they're going to end up liking each other, because I think his guard is already down, and she's already telling you she thinks he's handsome and got the butterflies and things are happening, and the goosebumps, and the hair on her arms is leaning in his direction, so the electricity, right? So that's gonna happen. So it's really cute so far, and it's a page turner, and I'm liking it. But I was reading it very late last night after talking to my daughter and having some dinner. It's gonna make you sleepy. So, but the point is, I don't want to spend those 55 minutes that I spent on Instagram not reading this book. I need to finish this today, okay? And then I'll pick up, obviously, number 2, which is The Truth About Fame, Faith and Fortune, number 2. So this is The Truth About Love. Yeah, Wally and Hall are probably going to fall in love. And The Truth About Fame, I guess this is one of the friends, I'm thinking. Either the model or the ballerina, don't know. And then this is The Price of Dreams, Faith and Fortune, number 3. Right? Cute as a button, all of them. And again, the author is Toni Shiloh. So those are the 3. I'm loving it. And then I got Salman Rushdie, which I always try to pick up his books, and I own at least 3 of his books, and I'm telling you, I ain't read none of them. I call myself wanting to collect all his books and then read them. I tried to read, was it Midnight's Children? And child, I read 100 something. This was umpteen years ago on this channel. I tried, but yeah, it was Midnight's Children. I think so. Did he write Midnight's Children, or was it somebody else? Am I wrong? Let me see if I'm wrong. No, I'm not. I'm right. Midnight's Children, fiction, shame, the satanic verses. Which I really want to read, and I really want to own. I want to own all his books. I got maybe 3. I believe, I don't want to put my glasses back on, but I believe I bought one of his with me. And this is a library checkout. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I haven't heard of this one. Let me check it out. And it says the first novel by one of the world's greatest authors. I'm like, see, I know I don't have this one. Ursula Le Guin says, a fireworks with an S of a book. A fireworks of a book, beautiful, funny, and endlessly surprising. Salman Rushdie, whatever. And I like the cover even. I like how it's stripped down and it's just that bird. Very nice artwork. I'm sorry, blurry. But yeah, I had to get it. A book to read twice. Speaking my language, Grimus is literate, it is fun, it is meaningful, and perhaps most important, it pushes the boundaries of the form outward. Okay, says the Los Angeles Times. Ambitious, strikingly confident, says the Times literary supplement. So, I'm not sure if my audio is doing this crazy noise thing, if you can hear me. When I play it back, if it does, unfortunately, this will be a bust and I won't upload it, but y'all know I probably will. And you just have to hang in there, it'll stop. So after drinking an elixir, I'm reading the synopsis now, that bestows immortality upon him, a young Indian named Flapping Eagle spends the next 700 years sailing the seas with the blessing and ultimately the burden I said bourbon. Am I trying to drink? The burden of living forever. Eventually, weary of the sameness of life, he journeys to the mountainous Kath Island to regain his mortality. Oh, okay. There he meets other immortals obsessed with their own stasis and sets out to scale the island's peak, from which the mysterious and corrosive Grimus effect emits. Through a series of thrilling quests and encounters, Flipping Eagle comes face to face with the island's creator and unwinds the mysteries of his own humanity. I can read. Salman Rushdie's celebrated debut novel remains as powerful and as haunting as when it first published more than 30 years ago. Okay, so this is a 30-year or more than 30-year-old book, and it says it's his first. So I'm intrigued, so I checked it out. And maybe that will be my first one that I've completed by that author, because Midnight Children, I couldn't get past page 150, I remember, and I think it was just 100. So usually 100 is good enough indication that I'm gonna finish a book, but sometimes if I get to 100 pages in a book and it sits on my shelf, I may go back to it and finish it and wonder why I had problems, because it's so dang good. Because that's the type of person I am. I'm a moody reader. Okay, so anyway, Black Man's Guide to Getting Pulled Over is a graphic novel. The fact that we gotta have this. Ting. And check this out. Huey, anyone? The Black Man's Guide satirically explores the issue of police harassment in an effort to find a solution to the problem, or at least make cops feel guilty enough to leave us alone. So this is very short. It's 20. Oh, they got a number on the back page, which is really just a showcase of books. Page 23. Page 22 just says subscribe. For as little as $15 a month, you can support a small independent publisher and get every book that we publish delivered to your doorstep. Okay. This is www.microcosm.pub/BFF. If you're interested, I just said it. I might be interested in that. I love the graphic novel. I love this. So anyway, let me show you. Nice. And again, this I could read today. That will knock off 2 if I go ahead and get through that Toni Shiloh #1 book, right? So that'll be 2, and I'll have 8 more to go. A plan. Okay, and then I had to recheck this out. I checked this out in Fort Worth, and I had to turn it back in because I had so many books and my time ran out. And I was like, I'm going to buy this book or check it out at another time, right? Well, here I am, fast forward to Oregon, and haven't finished this book. And I did go to, I asked at Powell's Book downtown, and the other Powell's Book that we went to that's in our neighborhood. So basically nobody had it, and I went to the downtown library, and there it was. Now let me just give you an update on what my thoughts are about the downtown library. This is over an hour, but if you can hang with me, please do, or just come back and pick up here. So my thoughts on the downtown library in Portland. I was devastated, I ain't gonna lie. I had to wear a mask most of the time. It smells so bad in certain rooms. Like before you can even enter into a different room in the library, the smell hit you. Me and my daughter were walking towards the room, and we turned around and left. And it was a fiction or some other, we wanted to go in there. Maybe it was the nonfiction, I don't know. Because we did end up going in the fiction area. We went to the graphic novel area after the first area we went to, which was the kids' room, which you saw a video of that, if you watched that video. We caught the bus to the library because parking in Portland is side street parking, paying for parking downtown, or again, just get in where you fit in, and I don't like that. And that's the worst thing that I can say, or my 3 worst things I can say right now about Portland is parking, the stench of the library. The fact that the library rooms that I went into, like the where the graphic novels were, there was newspapers, magazines, and so they had a whole room dedicated, which is dope, which is cool. And then the middle of the room is mostly seating. So you're kind of going around the wall space is where all the books are, which is fine. Again, which is fine. But to me, I would have loved that whole seating area to be owls and owls and owls and owls of books, graphic novels and more graphic novels, and maybe a couple of chairs in the corner. Because you don't need to sit down that dang much. You ain't at home. Find a good seat somewhere else and put some more books up in there. That was one of my most disappointing things about the Portland Library is I liked the selection of books that they had in the fiction area. But to me, it seemed like the bookcases weren't tall and full enough. Like, I want floor to ceiling books, like in Fort Worth. Like, and then the other thing I don't like about the Portland Library, number one, the stench. Like, they could have done something about that because Fort Worth had homeless people on the computers downstairs. You could tell they were there for a while or they were homeless. They had all their stuff with them, whatever. But what you're going to tell about Fort Worth's downtown library when it was open, they were spraying it. They were constantly cleaning. It smelled like cleaner in there instead of body odor and funk. Okay? But the Portland Library, there were certain areas that I could not go into because of the funk. And there was homeless people outside, of course, and I'm not getting down on homeless people. We have a problem in this country, right? And it's this beautiful building, and let me just use Oklahoma City, and I know you've heard me say this again, even Fort Worth, of course, and Dallas. Heck, I'm going to include Dallas on this one. And Kansas City, okay, my favorite city. They're cleaner, so much more cleaner than Portland. Like, whoever's in charge of cleaning Oklahoma City should get a dang award. Their governor, their mayor, their city officers, or just the citizens, whoever is keeping Oklahoma City that clean. Oklahoma City is keeping that city clean, like when you go visit somebody's house and your mama tells you you're going to have company, clean up, but your house is already clean, but you still do the cleaning. Okay? That's what Oklahoma City is like. It's always welcoming because it's so freaking clean. Kudos to Oklahoma City and my favorite bookstore there, which is Full Circle Books. One of the best bookstores on my top 10 list, top 5 list, top 3. Full Circle Books, Oklahoma City. And then they have the downtown bookstores, which are, of course, Common People or Commonplace Books or something. Again, clean, clean, clean. Great shelves of books. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. Portland, y'all need to clean up your city. It is filthy. Certain areas are just, it's old. Of course, we get that. But so, old things can be clean. I remember working downtown Fort Worth, and across the street, catty cornered, is the big old take over the whole block United States Postal Service. And it's one of those old buildings. It's beige, and so it was dark. You know, you see the little green or whatever on those old buildings. They pressure washed that building when I was working at downtown Texas Workforce Commission. They pressure washed the United States Post Office in downtown Fort Worth, and it was clean and beige and beautiful. Downtown Portland needs to be pressure washed in certain areas. Like the college area, beautiful. Trees, gorgeous park, lawn is, nice and cut. Just lots of nice places downtown Portland. But certain areas, I drove around Powell's like several times when I first got here, and never once did I park to go in. So my daughter-in-law goes with me, you want to go to Powell's today? I was like, yeah, I really do. But maybe you can find a place to park. Maybe we'll find something. Maybe I'll pay to park because I wasn't parking near Powell's. Why did we get a parking space right in front of the window in Pals? And so you can see in and out. And there was a lot of people that day, and I was like, I felt safer. I just felt better. But still, Portland needs to be power washed. Honest to goodnessly power washed. So, with all that said, I don't know how many fingers I put up. The things that I didn't like about the library is, number one, clean it up around. I don't care how many homeless people are there in front of it. There should be days where you could clean and pressure wash that sidewalk around the whole public library. Okay? Because to me, in a sense, you're almost saying, it looks like you're saying, well, we're not going to kick the homeless people out. They can come in here. Okay, good. But they need to understand that it needs to be cleaned. And they need to maybe move across the street and pressure wash it, and then come on back. Your little sidewalk is cleaner than the way you left it. All right? And then clean up. If you work in the public library in downtown Portland and you want to deal with that stench, that's on you. But for the people that are coming in there, the patrons, if you should learn a lesson from how other libraries are. Like, I don't care. Nobody's going to get offended. I'm not going to get offended. If I use that computer for an hour or whatever, and you come over and you wipe down everything and spray in the whole area, and you're not just wiping down my area, but you're wiping down the area and just cleaning seats and doing whatever, nobody's going to be offended. Nobody. I don't care if you identify as Dirty Mama. Whatever your handle is that you got to have here in Portland, clean it up. Because how can you work there for a 4-hour shift, 8-hour shift, 6-hour shift, and in that stench? Are you used to it? I mean, like, that is the worst. I have never been to a library that smells like that. And the thing is, like, the kids area didn't smell. And going up the stairs, you just start to smell it. And then you go into the rooms, like the graphic novel area. Didn't smell as bad as the other one. Like, I could smell like something was in the air. Somebody a little ripe. Okay. One person maybe. Maybe 2 people's ripe, you know? You walk a little further close to the other section, like, whoa, a few more people was ripe up in here. Is it the library? Is it the books? Then I'm sniff. I don't like to sniff other, library books, but new books. You know how we like that new book smell. So anyway, and of course I got you see those bleach rags there, right there? I wiped them, each and every one of the books, including my daughter-in-law's books and my grandson's book. I put out a t-shirt on the floor, and I scrubbed them books with Clorox and let them sit like I normally do. And the other books that I got from the pals that were free are still in a bag with bleach. Because, I don't know, if I itch one time or feel an itchy feeling, I'm going to put it in a bag. So, and seclude it. I say all that to say, I don't know what number I was on. I'm not, real good at doing all that, but I feel bad because, like, I could go to the libraries in Fort Worth and Hearst and Dallas and sit down for a long time, getting books, putting books back, reading it a little bit, and go, no, I could read 10 pages in a book, sit down, and just be comfortable in a library and put it back on the shelf if I'm just not feeling the vibe of that book, and get another one and do the same thing. And that's what I used to do in the libraries, and got me stuck on reading graphic novels. So looking at the art, and I'm like, dang, these books are deep. So anyway, I rechecked this out here in Portland, cleaned it off. I mean, you can't completely just, like, whatever, but I hope there ain't nothing in these pages. And I haven't been itching or anything. And so now that they've said, after being bleached on the outsides, this book, I can't wait to, and yes, I'm going to start over because they had 2 of them. So bookstores did not have any, but the library here in downtown Portland obviously has an amazing graphic novel section. I will say that. But the other thing that I was going to say, it just doesn't seem like they were using the space for books as much as they were using the space for people. Like, there's a lot of books there, don't get me wrong. But Fort Worth Library had more books than spaces for people. And then the spaces for people that they had were comfortable, and there was still a lot of space for people. But I'm like, in a whole room, and you got the like the other room had like computers in the center of the room where people were doing homework and whatever. So you had to go around again on the wall and the perimeters, and the books are on the walls. I'm thinking all that space, they can have owls and owls and owls. I'm redesigning in my head how many more books y'all could get in that public library. But then, whatever. I don't know. It's just me. And the libraries that I've been to and have been used to all of my life, you know, at 61 now, so it's a long life. But yeah, there's not as many books as that could be in there. And I didn't even get to explore the other floors with the windows that are, with the curvy windows. I didn't get to see that because the stench. Anyway, let's go on. So my daughter-in-law, I had her check this out too so we can read this together, right? And yes, again, I'm going to start over. So this is Moms. And Moms is, from what I remember, I'm just going to go off of memory. These group of mothers, right? They're all single. And one of them has, I think she's the main character. She has a boyfriend that's really young. And they're trying to tell her that she's just being used because he only comes over at night. Right? He's one of those guys. So I can't wait to get back to it. And they're all kind of fussy or whatever. I remember that. And then by the same writer, because I was like, if I was enjoying Moms as much, and this is the second checkout, the book is written by yeong-shin Ma. And so the name is up there. The sticker is covering it. So let me show you the back. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to read about those four mothers? So she has another book, or he has another book. I'm not even sure if it's a man or a woman. The author. Okay, yeong-shin Ma was born in Seoul in 1982. He made his debut in 2007 and began publishing webtoons in 2015. Though comics publishing has moved from print to digital in Korea, he still prefers to work with pen and paper. Hey, bravo, because I love it. And this one, of course, is called Artist, and I felt a kinship to it because I still consider myself an artist. Yes, I do. Even though I haven't painted anything since I've been here, I am working still on my colored pencil little zine book that I'm making. So I'm doing drawings and writing a poem or essay based on what I see that I actually drew. And it's a lot of just free thinking, kind of like off the top stuff that I'm drawing and just mashing it all together. And then so the writing will just pick up from whatever I'm seeing and place it together. So it's really fun. So I have been doing that as an artist project that I've started here, or continued, because I started it in at work in Oklahoma. Those are my doodles that I probably showed you guys. So anyway, from the author of Moms, yeong-shin Ma, artist. So I'm not sure what this one is about, other than artist. Maybe it's going to be about some existential dread that artists have when they don't make their money from being from the art that they make. Yeah. Also talking about this mural that I'm going to be painting on my wall in here. I also thought about just doing a big old quilt that I've already started sewing. That was supposed to be for my art show in Kansas that I moved away from. Sad about it, but I had to get back to work. That's the job that I had in Oklahoma. I was like, yeah, I got to get back to work. I can't just be sitting around gallivanting and living off of my family free, doing art and stuff. I got to get back to work so me and DJ can pay our bills together. because that's what we were doing before I decided to do a one-woman show. I'll have to hold off on that. Anyway, then I also have this book. Okay, so we only got 1, 2, 3 more to go after this. So this is very short. Again, I can do this if I stop talking today, right? Is that what you just said? You got to lie, Craig. All right, so 74 pages, you guys. So this is another day read. 2 sittings, maybe read 50 pages, and then the other 24. And it's called A Shining, Jon Fosse, National Book Award finalist, translated by Damien Searles, the Nobel Prize 2023. There we go. Trying to get some of the shine off The Shining. And what is it about? A man starts driving without knowing where he is going. I do that all the time. He alternates between turning right and left and ultimately finds himself stuck at the end of a forest road. Easy to do here in Portland. It soon grows dark and begins to snow. But instead of searching for help, he ventures foolishly into the dark forest. Inevitably, not like me, because I'm not doing that. Inevitably, the man gets lost, and he grows cold and tired. He encounters a glowing being amid the obscurity. Strange, haunting, and dreamlike. A Shining is the latest work of a fiction by National Book Award finalist Jon Fosse, the Beckett of the 21st century, Le Monde. Okay, so just reading his accolades: 2022 National Book Award finalist, 2022 International Booker Prize finalist, 2022 National Book Critics Circle Award finalist. Praise for Septology. Septology is the only novel I have read that has made me believe the reality of the divine, says Merv Emery, the New Yorker. So basically, I'm going to have to delve into this one because I've never read him before. And then maybe discern whether I can continue with the other books of his. Yeah, this is from 2023, A Shining. All right, and again, 74 pages. I was taking a drive. It was nice. It felt good to be moving. I didn't know where I was going. I was just driving. Boredom had taken hold of me. Usually I was never bored, but now I had fallen prey to it. I couldn't think of anything I wanted to do, so I just did something. He drove, right? I think I'm gonna like that. I might have to take this one with me today. I might take and read these two, knowing that I can finish them, right? You following me? And then continue on with this one, right? So that way I can finish 2 in one day and be working on this third one. So I think that's a good plan. What you guys think? Especially for this challenge, being that I've only got till next Wednesday. And then I've got Blackward by Lawrence Lindell, another graphic novel. Black and proud, black and queer, whatever. Okay, so these are some kids on the front. So they don't have some names, but she's got the little, like, whatever, man. Look at her. With her little afro puffs, rocking rough and whatever. Rough and tough with my afro puffs. Is that what it is? 4 quattro 9 quarter. What? Okay, so whatever. Okay, black, weird, awkward, and proud of it. Welcome to the club. Funny, truthful, sometimes uncomfortable. Lawrence Lindell is a comics creator to watch. So when I read that at the library. Sometimes uncomfortable and comic. I want to laugh because obviously I was laughing at that depressed Merriment, so I was like, let me just continue on. Let me laugh at these little fools. So, oh, she's so cute. Can you see it? All right, so I'm gonna read this, and hopefully I'll finish all of these. Now, this one also seemed like it was gonna be good. I don't like when they do that. So basically, the sticker is over the first word. And to think, we started as a book club. So the picture has a car full of bank robbers, and the title is "And so, oh, and to think, we started as a book club." So watch out, book clubs out there. Y'all started nice and genuine, and you know, shall I say, honest and true to your book reading, and just, naive maybe, and knowing good and well that you were going to turn into something else. Tom Toro is an acclaimed cartoonist, New York cover artist, and award-winning children's book author and illustrator. His books include How to Potty Train Your Porcupine, Crocodiles Need Friends Too, A User's Guide to Democracy, and I'm Terrified of Bath Time, and Back to School, and Backpack. I mean, it just keeps going. So he's written several, obviously, and illustrated. So the New Yorker's Tom Toro. I think this is going to be cute and funny. So I love book clubs, and if my book club turned out to be something different, one of them did. The one in Florida. We read Sugar, we read Asada, we read Eldridge Cleaver, Soul on Ice. So basically, I picked out all of our books that we were going to read, and then, fast forward that following year, after being about a year into the book club, we decided to go to Jamaica. 2 of us went, and that was in 2002. And when we showed them the pictures of how much fun we had, in 2003, we went back, and it was about, all of us, and DJ, because I took my son. So the last book, I'm trying to stop and stay on topic, is My Brilliant Friend. Now, I know this is a literary book, and I start watching it on the streaming device. I don't know if it's on Netflix or HBO Max or whatever, because we had a whole bunch of them back in Texas. And I have my Netflix here because I'm paying for that. And then, of course, my son and them, they have their streaming devices. But I haven't looked for My Brilliant Friend since I've been here. But since it's poked out to me while I was in the graphic novel section of the public library downtown Portland, I picked it up, right? And I'm thinking, My Brilliant Friend is a graphic novel? And the artwork is serious. Look at that, y'all. How beautiful is that? I'm sorry, but it's watercolor, delicious, and very dark on some of the pages. And My Beautiful Friend, the small part I watched on the streaming device, because I didn't finish it, it's all, so these 2 friends, and I can almost see it as like a Broadway play, because the way that this scene in my head that I remember from watching the little bit that I did, they're kind of like the apartments where they're, people are yelling off of the balconies, or their windows, and so forth, and just I don't know, it's just so serious, and you just knew it was going to be good. And I don't want to watch the rest of the streaming because I actually do want the book, but this is going to have to suffice for right now, because the artwork made me feel like how I felt when I was watching the little one episode that I did watch. Something about it is so very, of course, writing is art, but just reading the subtitles while I was watching, and just the scenery was so Broadway-ish or something else. It was like high art, and then it traveled me somewhere. And then to see it in a graphic novel where I can actually see artwork on page, yeah, I'm sold. And how much is this? Because $26. So $26 for My Brilliant Friend, the graphic novel. Definitely not buying it. I'm going to read this version and possibly buy the actual book if I don't get satisfied by the graphic novel. So that's it. Those are the 12 books. I've read 2 of the 12, and I've got 10 books to read before next Wednesday, before I start my job. Pray for me. Because I don't know if I can do it. So I have let's see here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 graphic novels, 6, 7 graphic novels, 3 short romance books. That's 10. So, okay, yeah, 1 literary read, 3 romance type of books. So that's 4 actual books to read. Oh, 5, because this is not a graphic novel, it's just short as heck, 74 pages. That, and then another graphic novel. So, yeah, and then I've already finished Patsy and Merriment. Oh God, and Moms. I gotta read that. I hope you enjoyed talking to me because I enjoyed talking to you and seeing my grandkids. I hope they're gonna have a good day down there playing catch with their dad, my son. And I'll see you guys later. Is that what the sound is doing? And I'm bouncing all around because I'm on this table. But I'm going to go ahead and finish my tea and then go outside and read some books and not get on the internet. You stay on the internet until watch this hour and 25 minutes. And then you go read and talk to me about it.